Welcome to the Not Nerd Podcast. I'm Nate Heath, and we are here to help you tech better. Here with me, as always, from Parts Unknown, Mr. Dave Baylor.
Well, the parts are known to me. I'm actually in a secluded hotel in the middle of, well, let's just say near a military base in Arizona, which there are many. I'm not saying it's Area 51. Although, that's in Nevada, I think. But anyway, I'm not saying it's that, but I'm not saying it isn't either.
Yeah. Very nice. Doing a little traveling to visit your son.
I am traveling. Lots of flying, lots of driving around, and lots of sitting in a hotel. So, perfect trip.
Yeah. Well, the perfect part about it is you have amazing internet speeds there, so we're able to come live to the YouTubes. We didn't know if we'd be able to do that, but you sent me a speed test as soon as you got there, and it was near what we get in our homes, which is ridiculous speeds. So.
Yeah, I think this is one of those traveler business places where a lot of people stop off and for business travel. It's not a big name brand hotel. It's more of a suite.
Yeah.
So,
nice.
Yeah.
So fancy. Well, you know what else is fancy? Some Followup.
Yes, it is. And we even have a Followup sounder, which is going to play right now.
Nice. On the road. And I do quickly want to say that I was talking to a friend of the show, Wes, about live streaming, and he's thinking about doing some. And we've been doing it, 7 or 8 episodes now?
Yeah.
And every single episode, we find some new little quirk that we've got to work out. So thank you for your patience,
it's never
viewers
perfect.
And listeners. But we're getting there, and it's a little more complicated than just recording some voices and posting it days later. So,
well, live is always a challenge because you can't go back and fix mistakes; they're just baked in. So
yes.
And speaking of that, has our viewer checked in? At all? Has anyone
we do
given
have
feedback?
A couple viewers there. We haven't seen anything, or I haven't seen any chats come through yet.
Yeah.
So we'll see if the audio does not sound up to our usual standards.
Yeah.
Let us know,
Yeah.
or anything else you want to chime in with. We do like having the live audience there to do that. But back to the Followup. I have kind of offhandedly mentioned this several times, and just in the last week or so, Wes has joined us. Hey, Wes.
Hey, Wes.
We were just talking about you. Your ears must have been burning. And Todd is with us too. It says 2 of the viewers are me. Audio sounds great. So
Great.
Pumping up our numbers. That's why we like Todd.
Yeah, I have an air conditioning going in the back that I was hoping I didn't have to turn off, so that's good news that you can hear me.
Yes, Todd is watching us on a ham radio and a film projector, I'm sure.
Yes.
And his ways to use older technology. But anyways, back to what I was saying. I've been throwing this around in the last week or two. I forget when it was. The NBA Finals finished up. Mm-hmm. And I have made the decision. I haven't canceled yet, but I have paused my YouTube TV account.
Okay.
I went in with the intentions of canceling because there is absolutely nothing I need to watch on cable television, which is what YouTube TV is very similar to. And it was funny, one of the shows that I have watched almost every episode since the 90s is Saturday Night Live. Mm-hmm. And Chelsea and I used to watch it on the DVR. And I was like, oh, that's the one thing I should go check. We haven't watched it in a few years. I should see where we left off. Well, YouTube TV, with its unlimited DVR, it only showed like the last season and a half. Everything before that wasn't still on there. So I'm like, oh well. So I was going to cancel, but they give you the option to pause for like up to 6 months. So I was like, well, I'll pause it and keep all that data in there just in case. And then if they can manage to bring the Blazers to YouTube TV, the Portland Trail Blazers, I might consider keeping it. But I forget what I'm paying now. I think I get a discount with T-Mobile, but I just don't need it. There's no shows where I'm like, I have got to tune into this.
Yeah.
So
I watch most of my content on just YouTube proper, and then have a host of streaming services. And be on the lookout for deals on the streaming services, because like think I'm paying like $2.99 a month for Hulu right now.
Yeah.
And don't tell them I'm sharing it with all kinds of people. So.
Woohoo. Yes, indeed. Well, this episode, since you're traveling, we're just going to talk all about me.
Yeah.
The next thing, I had a sad moment this last week. My Apple credit card, they sent me a piece of mail saying that we've been trying to reach you by email and we haven't been able to get a hold of you. And I realized that the address on that was my nheath@mac.com from 20 years ago when I signed up for an account and had that one. Well, I went into that email address, which I never checked, logged into iCloud.com, and no emails had come through to that address in like a year and a half. And so I realized for some reason they deleted that email address out of my account. And so I no longer have my nheath@mac.com.
That's sad, and
yeah,
I went from Mac to Mobile Me to iCloud, but you had the option of keeping the Mac.com the whole time.
Yeah.
And I probably should have done that, but I didn't. And then I started seeing people with, Tom Jones at Mac.com. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. But iCloud was the future, and I committed. So.
Yes, it's purely for my own never
vanity.
get rid of anything. But so I switched off to that. I think the account's still tied to a couple of the other ones like you're talking about. Mm-hmm. But I did want to talk a little bit and follow up on the whole Reddit thing. So last week when we were recording, they had started a bunch of the subreddits had started their little protest where they were locking up because of the API changes. And it did have a pretty big effect.
Yeah, it did.
On Reddit, but a couple notes on that. The first one, so the pics subreddit, which is probably that and funny, I think are the two top subreddits.
Yeah.
They are back active, but you can only post pictures of John Oliver.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah, so it's a different kind of protest, but it is active there, and I skimmed through it a little bit. But the other thing we were talking about, how this kind of all came about, was the Apollo Reddit app on iOS.
Yeah.
And John Gruber on his The Talk Show podcast actually had the creator of Apollo on the last episode and was talking through this whole thing. And he was saying that he talked with people at Reddit earlier this year about if they were going to start charging for the API. And they said, no, we definitely won't do it this year. Maybe in the next couple years we'll look at it. And then, 4 or 5 months later, they decided to have this ridiculous fee.
Well, hopefully he didn't give him the idea.
Yeah, they're like, ooh, we should do that. I think they had mentioned it previously that it would be an option, but kind of the belief on it is one of the big problems. I mean, Google, a ton of Google results are Reddit, and Google's search results have gotten worse because of this whole Reddit thing. But the other thing is all these AI models like ChatGPT, they were just scraping Reddit with this API to train all of their models for free because Reddit wasn't charging. And then Reddit's like, oh, we probably should have charged them to train the future of computing.
Yeah.
So now we're going to do this. But there's no different tiers. Like, yes, if ChatGPT wants to scrape all of Reddit, let's charge them a high fee. If Apollo wants to let people access Reddit in a different way, maybe a lower fee or no fee for those. I don't know. It's crazy, but we'll see if... Reddit's kind of holding strong on it, so we'll see if people keep up the protests.
Yes, and I hope that they do.
And a local story for us this week, and welcome Chris Kent to the live stream as well. Thank you,
Chris.
From the East Coast. World's first AI DJ hits the airwaves in Oregon via RadioGPT.
Yeah, I saw this. Now, isn't it like a normal person that they turned into an AI, or is it just a false? Is it Ashley or something like that?
And the subheadline says, the station's parent company says the DJ is not being replaced and her salary will remain the same. To which I say, yes, but much like Reddit, for how long?
That statement is true this very day.
Yeah.
It could be wrong tomorrow.
Yes, Alpha Media's KBFF Live 95.5 FM announced Tuesday that the station would be broadcasting an AI synthetic version of its host Ashley Elzinga using Futuri Media's RadioGPT software. So
crazy. But I mean, that's basically what Spotify or Apple Music does when you put it on shuffle and put it on infinity.
Yeah.
It just fills your playlist, or it makes the radio stations for you. So I mean, it feels like this is just a publicity stunt.
Well, yeah, and to which I say, people still listen to the radio? Do you know that podcasts exist and streaming music?
Yeah.
Where you can listen to what you want on your schedule?
Some people love to hear about the local weather, and they talk about the band
be interrupted every 2 minutes. And
it's that anticipation. It's like, oh, the new song from Katy Perry's going to come. But first, here, a message from our sponsor. And then there's another thing. And then there's a drive time. And then there's news. And it's like, it's coming up. The new song.
Yeah.
Dude, I could just download the album and listen to it. Who cares?
Yes. It says, AI Ashley can be heard notifying a caller that they won tickets to a Taylor Swift concert. The AI voice sounds eerily like the host it is modeled on, coming off as conversational and relaxed.
You mean that the voice AI that was modeled on the person sounds like the person?
Yeah.
That's weird.
What is this voodoo magic that they're doing? Oh, wait, I did this on that free website like 2 years ago.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a headline that seems remarkable, but it's really not that remarkable. And I was going to say, you were a bit out of focus, Nate. Have you been drinking? But you went right back in focus. So.
Oh, phew. Maybe I've been drinking. Backblaze was trying to kick on and back up my computer.
Maybe so.
On here. But hey, Dave, it is that time of the month.
Oh, it is.
Not that time of the month. Oh. It is time for Microsoft Patch Tuesday, June 2023.
Excellent. Yes. I can't wait.
Yes, the Microsoft Corp today released software updates to fix dozens of security vulnerabilities in its Windows operating systems and other software. This month's relatively light patch load has another added bonus for system administrators everywhere.
Dozens, you say?
Appears to be the first Patch Tuesday since March 2022 that isn't marred by the active exploitation of a zero-day vulnerability in Microsoft's products.
Good job, Microsoft.
Yeah, they did patch at least 70 security holes, but no 0 days. So
that's good.
Yes.
That's good. What an improvement.
Yes, and Todd is very excited about Patch Tuesday because that means hashtag vulnerabilities, which I can say because I'm not drinking like you previously thought.
And you've been practicing. I mean, it's important.
Yes, I sit around all day and say vulnerabilities.
Your voice is your instrument, and you must practice just like another instrument. So
yes,
and I can't talk right now. Please go on.
Well, it is time for our newest segment. Everybody loves Just the Headlines.
All right, what do we got today?
Here we go. The new Rubik's Cube world record is just 3.13 seconds. Comcast complains to FCC that listing all of its monthly fees is too hard.
Oh, give that one a read.
Google Lens can now identify rashes and other skin conditions.
Okay.
And Robinhood's May crypto trading volume falls 68% to $2.1 billion with a B dollars.
I decided to play us out as well.
Oh,
I like
do
that.
It.
I like that little song.
I like that song, and I like Dave's Pro Tip of the Week.
So today's pro tip involves an iOS device. I know that will shock you since most of my other tips involve Android, maybe? No, they do not. So we've covered something like this before, but it was relevant to me as I'm traveling because we are here at this Sierra Suites Hotel, and I'm saying it live over the internet.
Gave away the name.
I did.
You better leave tomorrow.
I know. I didn't say what town I'm in, but anyway, so we're here, and there is a Wi-Fi, and it's since iOS 16 or maybe 17. What are we on now? We're on
16. We're on 16.
Yeah. So this operating system, you have the ability to see what the Wi-Fi passwords are. So, for example, if I had the little card that says, here's your Wi-Fi password, and I put it in my phone, and then I lost the card, I'm like, well, I could go to the front desk, or I could call them, or wait a minute, I could just look on my iOS device. And here I'm going to do that. Now, I couldn't get my fancy phone connected so you can see it, and I couldn't get my web browser to work either. So it's sorry, audience, just looking at Nate and me. But what you're going to want to do is navigate to your settings, and then you go to the Wi-Fi, and I gave you the name because it says it right here, Sierra Suites. And I may be thinking, well, I want to hook my computer up. I want to hook my iPad. How do I get to it? So click the little eye icon right next to it, and you're going to see. Actually, I'm going to go to my full screen here if I can figure out how to do it. There we go. And right here under password, you notice it's obfuscated with dots. But if you tap on it, it will give you the option, and it does verify your Face ID or makes you put in your passcode. But there it is, right? SSUITES 2023 is the password. So if you're in the area and you're looking for some free Wi-Fi, yeah, come here, and you can copy it and paste it into another place, or you can just show the person who's wanting to connect. But that's a really handy feature that used to only be available on your Mac, but now you can do it on your iOS device. So if you have questions about that, please let us know. But it's pretty simple. Settings, Wi-Fi, click the SSID, the little I button next to it, tap the password field, and you're there.
Yes.
Only 75 steps.
And the share password thing is really nice too, where that pops up automatically. We had that. We were at the beach a couple weekends ago, and my mom needed the Wi-Fi, and it's like she opened her phone. She was trying to get in the settings, Wi-Fi, and then I had already shared it with her before she got to type it in. It's like, I've already given it to you. So.
But I brought my little Playdate.
Your Playdate, which doesn't have
Wi-Fi sharing.
Yes.
I have my camera if I wanted to connect it to Wi-Fi or other things, and so that sharing doesn't always work. And so it's nice to have the ability to look back to see what you entered previously.
Yes. And Chris, before you get too excited, Dave, I'm trying to confirm. Okay. He had said, is there a patch for my Zune? And I wanted to confirm, saying that you would pay top dollar for a Microsoft Zune, but he does not. He has a broken BlackBerry and a G1 Android, though, that you might be interested in for your collection.
Now, the top dollar for Zune, I'm not sure, but a reasonable price, probably.
Reasonable price for one of the brown Zunes, so you could squirt songs to people. Those were the days.
Don't remind me.
Yes, and my wife and daughter have joined as well. Okay. Hello, ladies.
Hi, guys.
From other parts of the house.
From downstairs.
From downstairs. Yes. Well, let us move on to our takes of the week. And we're starting off with, speaking of Zunes and blasts from the past, this first one, a company called Atari is releasing a brand new 2600 cartridge this year.
So they're just called Atari, or is it Atari?
It's the company that currently owns the Atari name and trademarks has decided to give owners of the old Atari video game or video computer system, aka the Atari 2600, which I have one of, something new to do. Mr. Run and Jump is a new Atari published platformer that is coming to the vintage consoles. Now, the problem is pre-orders for the cartridge begin on July 31st for $59.99.
I was going to ask.
$60 for an Atari 2600 game?
No one's going to buy that. It's going to be someone's going to rip the ROM, and then they're going to just put it on the internet.
Put it on all the...
Yeah. That's ridiculous. Maybe they would charge it so high because they know that only one person is going to buy it and rip it.
Yeah, they got to get something out of it. But
Wow.
Yeah, the 46-year-old game console.
Well, power to them. I really love that old technology is still being used. It's just a little absurd that they're charging that much. I bet if they charged, I don't know, $5. Well, it's actually on a cartridge, though, isn't it? So
it's actually the physical Atari 2600 cartridge.
Those do cost some money to produce and to distribute.
It couldn't have taken much to program a new game. And
no, but
I don't know if you've heard of China. You could probably go on Temu and have somebody make you some Atari 2600 cartridges. 3D print. Can you print? Oh, Dave, I'm going to start having you 3D print me some Atari 2600 cartridges.
I could, the case, but not the PCB inside, of course.
Yes. Well, not to be outdone by Atari, for the headline from Ars Technica, for reasons no one can fathom, McDonald's has released a new Game Boy Color game.
What is up with these people? Hopefully this one it can't be digital. This has to be a physical cartridge as well.
Yeah, it says Cruel with a K Toys regularly develops new games for Nintendo's 25-year-old handheld. But this is for it's called Grimace's Birthday, and I follow McDonald's on several of my PDX Fast Foodie accounts on different social services, and they've been doing this whole Grimace takeover, and he types weird things and posting videos. It's Grimace's birthday this year.
Yeah, they have a purple shake or something like that you can get.
Yes. Which now here is news to me. Fast food giants McDonald's has released a new retro style game featuring Grimace, the purple milkshake blob. That's what Grimace is.
He's a milkshake blob.
A milkshake blob. What? I never once had a thought about what Grimace was.
I think they retconned that. I'm pretty sure he was just a weird shaped
And if
blob.
they ever had a purple milkshake? And they don't even have milkshakes now. They have McFlurries.
Yeah. I think that's what you can get, a purple McFlurry. Yeah, who knows? Back in the 70s, things were weird.
Yes, that is true. And thus came us.
Right. True.
But an interesting study that I saw, or a survey that was done, this is the top reason Android users switch to iPhone, and it's not blue bubbles. And then you go down like 7 paragraphs in the 9 to 5 Mac article, maybe not quite that many. The top reason was actually an issue with the Android experience. Over 53% of respondents said they moved to iPhone because of problems with their Android smartphone.
They didn't show a blue bubble. That was the problem.
Yes, that was, I believe, the second reason. So 53% was prior phone problems, 26% new phone features, 15% cost, and 6% community connecting. So that the blue bubbles, I don't think these people that took the survey knew what they were talking about. But
especially with cost, since many of the Android phones are cheaper than the iPhone offerings of the same caliber.
Yes. So interesting little study there. But they were saying that pivoting to iPhone from Android is at a 5-year high. So that's why they were kind of looking at this, because people are still making the switch over to iPhone, mostly due to the Not Nerd podcast.
Yes, they got to get those tips.
Yes. And this one, a lot of people are going to be very excited.
Dustin
Cook. He is the one person I always think of when I think of Microsoft Paint. The updated Paint app for Windows 11 begins rolling out to Windows Insiders with dark mode and zoom improvements.
I can't believe it took this long to get dark mode in Mac Paint. Or sorry, not Mac Paint, Microsoft Paint.
Microsoft Paint.
They're about the same caliber.
Yes, and it is just called the Paint app now, not Microsoft Paint. But also it has better zoom controls, which We are also, this is from the official Windows blog, and this is only on the betas, their insider track right now, but hopefully it'll be coming to everybody. We're also rolling out improvements to the zoom controls as well to give you more flexibility and control over the view of your content on the canvas. And the classic presets are still, it just goes on and on and on. It's like, just say you can zoom better.
Yeah, and you said Zoom and not Zune, right? I just want to make sure.
Yeah, not Zune with an N, and not Zoom, the video teleconferencing software. Zoom as in getting closer into the pixels.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yes, and Chris Kidd does remind us in the comments that he switched to iPhone because of the podcast.
Really?
He was an Android user. And over the years, he finally made the switch, and he's an Apple fan now.
He couldn't be blaming us any more than he is now. He hates it, and he's like, I want my money back.
And he says, no cap. My kids say that means no lie.
Oh,
so he's.
I learned something new.
Yes, no cap. I think my daughter dropped that once.
Really?
That was,
I've never heard that, but big surprise that I've never heard of it.
Well, let us come back into some wonderful local Oregon news in our security and privacy story. Massive data breach compromised 3.5 million with an M driver's licenses, ID cards in Oregon DMV system. And if you are good at math, there's slightly over 4 million people in Oregon, and 3.5 million drivers, I believe, would be all of them.
Yeah, why didn't they just say all of them? I couldn't be more mad about this. It's like, it's one thing for corporations who kind of have their own oversight to make these mistakes, but the government is supposed to be protecting us, and we give them all kinds of money and resources to do that, but no, they blew it.
Yes, the Oregon Department of Transportation, ODOT, said Thursday that a recent international attack exploited a private company's software called MoveIt. ODOT and many other agencies use the software. The state says it closed the vulnerability and added more security measures as soon as it learned of the breach on June 1st.
And what they should have done is fired the company, gone with a different one, because what they're going to do, they're going to forgive them, give them more money to fix the problem, and there's no incentive for them to improve.
Yes, but hey, you can get 12 months free of credit reports or whatever.
I think I'm up to like 300 years now of free credit report stuff.
I know. It's 3 life sentences of free credit reporting, but I just use the free Credit Karma one, I think. But
I just changed my Social Security number about every 6 months. There's a website you can go to get new ones, and I just cycle through them.
There you go. There you go. Just keep changing that. That wouldn't ever cause any issues.
Never.
But yeah, and I did see something that they kind of found out about this like last Monday, and then I think the Oregonians started asking some questions on Wednesday, and then the Thursday, the state government finally said something. It's like, would you have told us that?
Yeah. No.
I mean, your driver's license information. That's pretty important. You're supposed to kind of protect your driver's license number. They kind of has your birth date.
You know what
has
I could
everything,
do with,
and
you know what I could do with this? I could get on an army base with a driver's license.
Yeah,
it's very simple. You just hand it to him. So get the information, make a duplicate. I mean, it's a security problem nationwide.
Yeah, it really is, and. Now, as a DJ at the Marathon Taverna, I have no definitive proof, but I do believe it is still pretty easy to get a fake ID, so maybe I'm just going to go with a whole new persona and ditch my actual one and go with fake ID. There's a podcast I listen to where the host often brags about his daughter's fake ID so that they can go play pool. And but yes,
wow.
So
well, maybe you and I need to. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag about both of our alternative identities where we're just off the grid, you know, our prepper IDs that we have.
Yeah. Or my stack of passports.
Yeah.
Jason Bourne.
Totally.
Yes. Well, after that joy for all of our Oregon listeners, there was another state. It wasn't in this article because it was just a local one, but some other state used this software as well. But let us move on to our bonus odd take.
There we are.
And we love music. MTV was a big thing, music videos. Well, I'd seen, I think, one of these, but I don't think we talked about it on the podcast. These are some musicless music videos. So Mario Wiener Reuther takes music videos,
okay,
strips out all the sounds, which you just hit mute in your video editor, but then he Foley's back in the sound effects based on what people are doing in the video.
I think I've seen these before. It's hilarious.
Yeah, so this is through cotkey.org, and the one he has embedded here is Jamiroquai's Virtual Insanity. Man, we're living in the 80s and 90s today.
I guess so.
But it is pretty funny because there's no music, and that is an especially odd video. But he's sliding across the floor, and it's just a screeching shoe. But he's also done Smells Like Teen Spirit, Prodigy's Firestarter, and Queen's I Want to Break Free. But
I feel like I've seen one of Michael Jackson where it's just
yes.
No singing, just the guttural utterances.
Yes, but those are very fun little watch, and it is shortened versions of the music video because you don't need the full 4 minutes to get the idea of what Mario Wienerreuther has been doing.
I think he's German, probably.
Yes, I would hope so. Well, you know what's not German? Our picks of the week.
What? No.
As I check the box to see if this product was made in Germany.
No.
That would be ironic, wouldn't it?
No, you need to get your microphone out. You totally blew it.
Oh. And Isla and I were talking about before the show.
We even tested it.
Our picks of the week. Still working this piece of tech. It's me that fails, not the technology in this case.
That's often the case. Well, for both of us, not just you, of course.
Yes.
Oh, so I should go.
Yes, your pick. Searching. I was my product was made in China, as I should have assumed, not Germany.
Right.
So.
Well, this pick, you're going to love it because it is very low tech, but it's a technological miracle. And this is the AUGO magnetic screen door, self-healing, heavy-duty, hands-free, mesh partition, keeps bugs out, pet and kid-friendly, patent pending, keep open feature, 38-inch, 83-inch. This is a screen door that you attach to the outside of your home.
Yes.
And if you look at the picture, Nate, I'm sorry I can't show those of you at home, but it just has a little partition that opens, and it magnetically closes behind you.
Yeah.
And there's a Velcro strip that goes around your door. And so when you want to remove it, you can remove it and then put it right back on the Velcro. Or you can permanently, with some little tacks, keep it up there. We have put this on the back door to our house, and it has revolutionized the airflow into the garage area because you don't want bugs getting in, so you keep the door shut. But if you have this, which costs, a couple, let's see, who are those guys on the tin? A couple Hamiltons. You can get a screen door without having to spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Well, Dave, you shouldn't be surprised, but I've got way more to say about this than one would expect in talking about screen doors. So the first thing I will say is I've looked at these, and I actually talked to a friend in Palm Desert. I stayed with him down in the desert of California, Palm Desert.
Yeah, makes sense.
He has one on his front door that is a retractable one.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So it comes across and locks in place. And he said that these ones he had tried, and probably not as good as this one because it's got 4.5 stars on 68,621 ratings.
Yes.
But he said these ones weren't as good. And our back screen door had become ripped around the handle just from grabbing it quickly and stuff over the years. And so I recently replaced the screen. I got a kit off Amazon.
Yeah, I've done that.
That was some work.
Really?
So,
I didn't think it was that big a deal when we did ours, but
mine was very sticky and it was not a very clean replace. And our screen door is pretty cheap, so it was a little wobbly. And then getting it back in, one of the rollers was kind of stuck. So I almost chucked it over my back fence, and then probably would have bought one of these. But I like this product, and I might have to pick one up once this one stops working as well as it currently is.
Yeah, it's pretty good. One of the main reasons between this one and a slide across style is this was very inexpensive.
Yes.
I think I paid more than this, but right now it shows $22.94. I think I paid $30 or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's just very inexpensive. And we've been talking about getting one for years, literal years. And it's like, why didn't we do this sooner? But you can tie back the two sides. It's split in the middle. And when you let go or you go through it, and it just closes back together because it's magnetic and the little points. Now, we have a metal door and a metal downspout right next to the door. So if you swing it too wide, it'll stick to those. But if you just walk through it normally, and the advantage of having a really stupid cat is it can't figure out how to get out. It's like, meow, we don't want it to go outside. And so it just sits there at the screen door and looks out. All it has to do is push through. But like I said, it's not very smart. So.
Yes. Very nice. Thank you for sharing that. And my pick of the week this week is actually under my laptop, but luckily, because I'm me, I've got the original box next to my desk.
I thought you were going to be like Technology Connections and through the power of buying two.
Well, that would usually be the case. But what this is the 12 South. Now, this is another product. I think this is the third different laptop stand that I have picked. Okay. There was this one I got next to my desk that I got, but it's really tall. And then there's the Griffin iCurve or whatever that one is that you gave me one of. But this one, 12 South, they're a very well-known Apple accessory company. They make a lot of great products. But if you look at the box on this one, you can see that little knob right there. It is height adjustable.
But it looks hydraulic, is it?
Well, I don't think I haven't had to adjust. Yeah, it just screws on tight there because it's for a laptop. You're not lifting up a car here. But they were having a sale. I think it must have been their Memorial Day sale, and I happened to see something about it. And usually 12 South stuff, I was going to say is more expensive. It is more expensive, but they've got really high quality products. I just can't usually justify their products. They've got a bunch of different stuff. They have an air adapter for airplanes, so you can use like your AirPods or wireless earbuds, and your airplane just plugs into the headphone jack and then does the Bluetooth magic for you. They've got some leather book covers for different devices. They've got a lot of really great stuff, but I found this, and with the height adjustment, I wanted to try it out. And for the first time ever at my desk, I am using a laptop stand because I would just use the keyboard and the trackpad plus my mouse here just sitting there flat on my desk. But this one, I can keep it nice and low. It's right underneath my camera. I tried out that other one, and it was like put my laptop way high and my camera would be up to the ceiling. But these run usually, they're, I think, $75 full price, and I think I got 20 or 30% off. But I love the build. You can't really see it on there because there's a laptop on there. Is there a...
No, I could see it.
It's got a V shape where your laptop... For the top, where your laptop goes, it's actually a boomerang shape with a nice rubbery grip on it, so it really holds the laptop well. Check out 12 South; they've got a lot of cool products over there for the Apple lifestyle: iPad stands, plugs, AirPods cases. They've got it all. So if you're looking for high quality, nice, a little more expensive than the stuff I usually buy on Amazon, head over to 12south.com.
Very, very cool. That sounds awesome.
Yes, and actually, don't go to 12south.com. Just go to notpics.com, find the pick, and then click on that link. Not that we're affiliates. I'll probably link to the Amazon one. Anyways, but all of our picks, recent picks, and some older picks are all over at notpics.com. You can always go shopping there if you need to buy somebody something or got some money burning a hole in your credit card.
Always.
Yeah, and it's not our own products. We just link to where you can get great deals on good technology.
Although I did talk to you about rebranding some cheap Chinese stuff, not nerd, and putting it in a store to see if we could sell it.
Yeah, we might get there. I am not opposed to eventually maybe having some swag on notpics.com or some of our own products, taking previous picks of the week, improving on them, and then selling them with our faces on them, or
3D.
just with Drone Dave.
Yeah.
Drone Dave Tech.
Yes.
It'll be our brand name, and you will be our logo. But
3D printed Atari 2800 games, all kinds of stuff.
Yes, and well, with that, I think we will wrap up the show. I did want to quickly mention, you didn't ask, Dave.
I didn't.
But my trucker hat of the week, if you can read that,
you're the
it's pretty big text.
You're the number 4 dad.
Number 4 dad, yes. Father's Day, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, all those with fathers that are good. Yeah, all that good stuff. But Father's Day was yesterday, so I figured I'd bust out the number 4 dad hat.
That's good. Well, you can aspire to be number 3 someday.
Maybe I'll get there once number 3 dies off. He's getting pretty old, so maybe I can move into the number 3 dad spot.
Very good.
But with that, thank you all of you that joined in on the live stream. Thank you to those that are watching on YouTube. We're getting more people watching later the video version on YouTube, or it's still available in your favorite podcast app as always, because we want to help you get out there and tech better.